everyone. Heavy metal today, right from the start. Well, not right from the start. Welcome everybody. It's going to be a blast today. I have a great show for you. I hope everybody's doing fine. I see 4 or 5 of you, 6 coming here. That's great. So we'll start on time, and I'll try to keep the time today because we're going to have Michael Sandén, or Michael Sandén, as it's pronounced in Sweden. And my artist in focus for today is going to be Blind Boy Fuller. And it's going to be really funny and interesting to describe why Blind Boy Fuller, when he didn't really play a slide, but he did. I actually found a song, and you can find it yourself on Spotify or on Apple Music. It's called Stranger's Blues, where he actually plays slide. And there are some discussions if he was the one playing slide there or it was Tampa Red, because it's very similar in styles, how they sound. But I'll demonstrate it anyway. So the thing is that we're going to start off in open D tuning. So if you haven't read in the description prior to this live stream, then maybe you'll have the time to tune up. If you have a guitar already ready in open D, that's perfect. Otherwise, you can always come back to this and just tune and watch the replay, right? All right. Hello, Björn. And I'm kind of a little extra happy that Tommy is here today, because this Tommy here. Because I'm going to be showing some pictures with Michael Sandén, and you happen to be on one of them. So stay in tune. It's going to be fun. All right. So thanks very much for coming, everybody. Let's get moving, and I'll just try to deal with this for a second. Good. Mr. Nilsson, wonderful to have you here as well, because you're going to be in the story as well today. Cool. So, what's the deal? With the first welcome song is going to be Stranger's Blues, a song that I played, that I heard for the first time by Brownie McGee and Sonny Terry, an acoustic blues duo from the, let's say, 50s and on. But Brownie McGee has a very distinct and very specific connection to Blind Boy Fuller, who is today the artist in focus, because when Blind Boy Fuller got sick and eventually died, Brownie McGee was considered to be Blind Boy Fuller II, and he even recorded under that name. So they wanted to find an artist who can play like Blind Boy Fuller, because he was very popular. He played a lot of great jumpy tunes like Picolo Rag, that I'm also going to be showing you today. He also played Step It Up and Go. That's also on the map for today. But basically, I think that you want to just know the schedule for today. That's going to be the same each and every week, each and every Monday. We're going to do the same thing. So we start off with a welcome song. I'll play some guitar backup for you guys, and then we'll just go on with the scheme, which you can see better if I move right. So open D, and the strings are from the left to right, from the basses to the treble strings. So D, A, D, F sharp, A, and D, right? So the great thing about open D is that you have 3 D strings on the first one, 4th, and the 6th string. Those are D, and then you have 2 A's, 2nd string and the 5th. And then you have the F sharp on the 3rd string, which is a major 3rd, right? So we have this full chord over there. Good. a stranger here, just blowed in your town. I'm a stranger here, just drove in your town. Well, because I'm a stranger, you don't have to dog me around. Well, I wonder if my good gal knows I'm here. Well, I wonder if my good gal knows I'm here. Well, if she do, she just don't seem to care. Well, I wonder why some people treat you strange and so. Yes, I do. Well, I wonder why some people treat you strange and so. Well, I may be your best friend that you'll never know. I'm a stranger here. So this was a kind of a, I'm trying to imitate Blind Boy Fuller when he played this in early 30s and recorded together with Sonny Terry, the harmonica player. So if you look for that, Strangers Blues, and it says Blind Boy Fuller with Sonny Terry. You'll find it. Good. I hope everybody's doing fine. I see some new people coming here. I see Power Jimmy coming from Serbia. That's great. Oh, Tommy, I'll just be showing some retreat pictures where you were playing Sandén guitar, right? Hello, Eric. My banjo playing son is here, so grab your slide and play some slide on banjo. Would be something new. People play slide on the mandolins, so let's try it. All right, where are we in the scheme of things? Guitar backups. So as long as I'm in open D already, so I'll give you a backup so you can play in E. If you have your guitar tuned in open D, so let's be nice to people who don't have it, and for them, if they would play some blues shuffle in standard tuning and then play in D, it's not attractive. So let's put the capo on the 2nd fret. I guess everybody bought the G7th capo after the last week's stream because I think Nick Campling was very persuasive, and me too, as you know how good these capos are. So I'm going to be playing some backup in open D, but we're now going to be in E because we put the capo on the 2nd fret. So you who have the guitars in standard tuning, you just play in E. That's it. So let's go, warm up, and we'll play this one. Just a regular blues shuffle in E. All right, so that was the first backup. Now I'm going to give you the second one, which is going to be the same pattern, but now we're going to be in G. So you guys who have just a standard tuning, play it in G. If you want to follow along in the E chord shape, then you can just put the capo on the 3rd fret, yes, and then play in E grip. But otherwise, I'm in open G. Right. So now I'm going to be playing some backup, just a regular blues shuffle. And I'll be using slide just very sparingly, maybe just to point out some stuff that might be interesting if, let's say, I would be playing with somebody. So I'm kind of imagining some of you playing with me, and this is what I do. So. Oh, nope, that was not good. So I was still thinking open Ds. Okay, let's do it again. So, the intro. All right. I really hope you played along and that it was fun. So if you have any questions, just throw them in the chat and I can explain whatever I was playing. Yeah. Good evening. I think your name is pronounced Mihal, right? If you have this little accent on the A in your name in usual cases. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. It's always a pleasure. Kosho, yes, my friend from Germany. I hope we'll be playing together somehow soon. We'll see. Okay, so just a little announcement. If you guys just look up David Hunte on YouTube, I'm going to be guesting his live stream on this Wednesday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central European time. So I'm not sure what's that in your time zone, but we're going to be talking some music, technology, slide playing, spiritual music, and all that. David is a master of piano. I just enjoy his live stream so much. So thank you for coming. It's really great to see you here. So guys, guitar backups, we're done with that. Now, there's this special moment that I think is going to be very special on every live stream. The last week's stream was special. The first stream was special when I had Diamond Bottlenecks with the Ian McVie. Now I had G7th with Nick Campling last week, and this week I'm having as a guest a person who basically and very much determined what I was about to do here in Sweden, because without meeting him and getting inspired by the whole personality, the things he was doing, the guitars he was making. Michael Sandén is my guest, and we're gonna bring him on in a second. So I just don't want to forget to unmute him. Michael is with us now, so hello and welcome to the Blue Monday,
Hello,
Michael.
Thank you for having me. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. We don't get to meet so much, but actually we did during the 2020 when it was the worst blast of Corona here. So we still met that year, but then we don't do it so often. Not as often as I would like to, of course. Yeah.
Can I just start saying that I would like to say hello to Ulle, my old companion and very good friend, which I haven't seen for a long time.
Yeah, definitely. And there are a lot of people here in the chat that Michael knows. And Björn here is my buddy Björn. when it comes to baritone guitars. We both have one. So fun, so much fun. Good. So Michael and I go really way back in the beginning of 90s. In 91, that's when we met here in Sweden. And what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to go to the web browser and I'm going to be showing you the pictures that we have prepared for you today. So just so you can see the history behind the whole thing with Michael and me, right? So yeah, let's go, Michael, to go through some historic footage, and then we can talk more about some details and everything. And you guys, if you have any questions for Michael, just put them in the chat. Maybe if you write Q and colon before the question, then we'll see much easier if it's a question or a comment or something. Okay, so basically, this is where we met, right?
Thank God I haven't changed anything.
No. This is in 1991 when I came to Sweden just for a summer. And then a person sitting at the couch with your guitar in his hands, Peter Arneson, an artist, painter from Sweden, he told me that, oh, there's this guy, guitar maker, that you have to meet. So we went and just visited you here, very close to Helsingborg, when you lived there.
Yeah.
So this was in 1991, and then I didn't know I was going to be coming back to Sweden at all. This was just a nice visit to you, and I was just blown away by the your personality and the guitars you were making, and everything was great because you've been already building guitars for like 9 years professionally. You started in 1982, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's 40 years this year. Well, actually, this month.
Wow. So you're celebrating 40 years as a guitar builder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. All right. Oh, that was not good. I shouldn't be clicking on that one. Let me just put it there. So we are... Do you remember where this was?
Is it England?
Yeah. I'm not sure really. Maybe it's Ireland, or maybe it's Belfast. Because Michael
We've been all over the world.
Well, over this part of the world, yeah, Europe anyway. But let's say the next picture. Just give me a second. Yes, whoa. Woo-ha! Okay, maybe we should pronounce it that way. So, let me just try to solve this with the pictures. Somehow
stuck?
It's stuck. Just a second. We're with friends here, so there's no problem. Right. So, this was a cool sign in somewhere. I think it's in Ireland as well. We were there just sipping coffee in between visits to workshops. So this workshop and many others, I think I have several more pictures. We did those in the cooperation with Tanglewood Guitars, where you had a position of designer for one of their top models, right? Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Well, it's they approached me in 2006, I think. So I made a line of guitars for them called Master Design by Michael Sandén, which sold quite well. And then I went on to be a consultant for them for designing new guitars and structures and stuff to help them out, and I've done so. I'm still with them, so I hope this fall or maybe at Christmas time there will be the Master Design guitars will come back again. They've been
that's great.
Well, more or less all the company in China went bust when the Corona came, so it took some time to find a new factory that can build the Master Design. So, but we are working on it.
That's right.
Very good company to work with.
Definitely, we like those guys. So these are the pictures that Sofia Sandén, your daughter, took several years ago, and this is a kind of a proof of craftsmanship that we do things by hand at Sandén Guitars. So everything is carved by hand, and I have to say I'm the man of order. I mean, I like when it's order, but it's not always order. But you and your workshop, it's an example of, you know, exactly where the things are, how everything is placed. And let me just show you a couple of these pictures. First of all, they're beautiful because she's a very good photographer. But it really is like that, even when you're in the middle of building. I mean, everything is on its place.
It has to be if you're going to be productive and also trying to have a clean workbench so you don't destroy the wood.
Definitely.
With tools and everything lying around.
Of course. All right.
Yeah, that's me a few years back.
Yes. And then these are the, how do you call these? The shape molds or?
Oh, this is the molds that I build the guitars in. So different model, different molds. So I
Sizes and
bent
all
the
that.
side and put them in these molds, and
Yeah.
from there I build the rest.
Okay. So the next picture is these. What are
Yeah,
these for?
that's the molds for bending the sides. And you see the top of the side bender there, which I built in 1985, and it's still with me.
You build it yourself.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I do. Every time I start it up, they call from Ringhals and thank me.
That's great. Oh, sorry. So
Okay.
here's Ole.
Yeah, that's my old companion in Gothenburg, and the guitar he's playing there is guitar number 400.
Exactly.
And the other one, I think it's Christopher, and
Yeah.
that's a guitar I built for him. I don't remember, in the 90s something.
Yep.
Koa back inside.
All right. So
Completely
how many
destroyed.
guitars altogether have you built so far?
At the moment, I'm building number 633, I think.
So if you divide that to with 40 years of production, so how many, let's say,
Well, it's not that many, because the first few years I didn't build that many guitars a year, like 5, 6 guitars. But the last 15 years I built around 30 guitars a year.
year? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Let's see another picture. Here are you're holding this meter in front of you. I don't know what we were measuring there, but I remember
No,
this
I
was
can't
in
remember.
2000. No. Can you remember?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's your good friend, the harmonic player.
Yeah, Pera
So
Joe from
came to
Belgrade. Yeah,
visit.
yeah.
And
And there,
there was my good friend Love, the work dog. He's
yeah,
lying at my feet.
he's
And
office dog.
when he started to play the harmonica, he started to yell. So he didn't like it at all.
No, there wasn't too much jamming there. But this was in
No.
2016. I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah, right. So then this is a cool picture that I took only because of the True Temperament frets, because I just want to. This was one of the students at the guitar retreat, Håkan Svantorp, who made this picture out of fun. So that's the only way to play slide on crooked frets. So tell us a little bit about those crooked frets, if people see them on any guitars out there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's my collaboration with the True Temperament company who approached me. I think that was also in 2006, 2007 or something.
Yeah.
So this is a calculation of an actually completely right fretboard. It's every tune, every note is tuned, and the frets are bent to make a perfect pitch all over the neck. I'm just making one guitar now that's going to Germany, and I sold quite a lot of them to England and the States. So, but not as much the last few years, I must say. It's a good concept, but
yeah, it's a cool concept. I remember when they approached you, and then we were about to go to Fuss Guitar Show in Sweden, and then to Frankfurt Music Fair, and I remember demonstrating this guitar, and it was like I got it like the same day when I was about to demo them, and I was scared. I was like, man, I'm not gonna make this. How am I gonna play on this? But it took me literally 10 minutes to find all the grips to see, well, I don't really need to think differently. It's just the same. The grips are there. Even with the capo, that was the first question we always got. Can you use the capo? How can you play a slide on that? It's not intonated. Well, the slide tone is not affected by the shape of frets or anything else, so that's easy. But with the capo, basically not so many people will put the capo on the first fret. So let's say from second fret and on, these small curves of the frets are not that significant, so they don't hinder you from putting a capo and just playing it. It's a great concept.
Well, these are calculated for standard tuning.
Yeah.
I had one customer said, I tuned it down to C and put the capo on the 7th fret, and it was completely off. And that's, so I mean, there is limits with this, but if you play it like with a drop D, for instance, it sounds better than a normal guitar because it's more right from the start. So
yeah. Well, I could tune it down to open D, remember, on the Frankfurt Fair, and it was just small modifications while I was playing different songs, and it worked well, but definitely for standard tuning. This is a solution for, let's say, a session player who sits in the studio and has his guitar in standard tunings, and then the orchestras or singers come with, oh, let's play something in D, let's play something in G, and guitars of other kinds. You always need to retune at least one or two strings to accommodate that. But this is just like a blade.
Yeah, and the higher up you go on the neck, the better it sounds. So
yeah, definitely. All right.
Okay,
Here's
hello
Tommy.
Tommy.
That's right. Which model is this?
I think that's a Dreadnought.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And I think it's Brazilian rosewood. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Maybe Tommy can tell us in the chat.
Yes, it is. It is. It's the Brazilian rosewood. Yeah.
Good.
Now I remember.
Yeah. All right.
Can't remember the number though.
Oh, okay. Nobody's expecting you to remember the number. Here's
that's Ulle's brother.
Right. Yeah.
And
Ulle's
that's
brother here.
I think it's an R14 or...
Yes, it is. I remember that.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the smallest bodies, and I even have one here with me, and I'll be showing it right after we've seen these pictures. And Arne is a regular on the Guitar Retreat, and my retreat sessions as well. And then here's a Sandén ukulele, right? You did those as well.
Yes. I made a few of them.
Yeah.
Just more for fun or something like that. But yeah, I made maybe 10.
Yeah, that's great. So on
God.
this picture, Michael, out of 15 instruments, 8 of them are Sandén guitars.
Thank you, guys.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. And Ulla says the guitar is still in possession, the number 400.
I hope so.
Yeah, of course it is. And
Take
there
care
it is
of it.
on this picture as well.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
We build it together.
Yeah. That's cool.
What is that's a session on Ireland.
Exactly. This is Clonmel, the pub, where we ended up doing this jam session. But the thing with this whole place was that we did a workshop in the room that's behind the bar, and then they had a stage and everything set up for us. Do you remember? And people were sitting in the audience, and we were just talking to them as if, of course, some of them we expected that they played the guitar, and they were interested in the Tanglewood and Sandén Guitars workshop, and they were sitting there and asking questions. It was a really nice workshop, everything. And then when we were done, then we were kind of packing the things up, and then we went back and through the bar, and we thought, okay, let's grab a beer and just relax. And there it was, the world's typical Irish folk music session. They were sitting there playing like devils. It was just amazing. And of course
Great
I
fun.
wanted to play with them. It was so much fun. And
Yeah.
guitar in Irish music is not so much of a solo instrument. It's mostly backing up, and but it was great fun, definitely. So this is in Belfast, if I remember well.
Okay.
Yeah,
If you say so.
I
We
think
were
so.
like a rock band, just going everywhere and can't remember where it was.
Yeah, and this is actually my friend from Serbia, whom I've known this guy from the early '80s. Now he's the owner of a very good music shop in Belgrade in Serbia, and he visited the booth we had in Frankfurt one of the years. This is early 2000, 2005, 6, something like that.
Probably,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was fun.
Wow.
Now, tell us about this guy.
Yeah, well, that's Joje Wadenius, a very nice and a very good friend of mine, I'm proud to say.
Yeah, of course.
He has, at the moment, 4 of my guitars. It's 2 JRB with cutaway, a 112 string, and a
Yeah,
baritone.
that's
Yeah,
great.
one of the
Yeah,
nicest guys I've ever met through my
yeah.
years.
One of the
Very
nicest
humble,
persons in the industry, definitely.
absolutely.
Just a little background about Joje. He's known as George Vadenius in the States because he spent the most part of the '80s in Los Angeles, I think, where he played as a studio
Oh, no,
musician. And
New York.
New York, okay, but then he moved to the to the West Coast as well, I think.
Yeah, I might. He was playing with
If I
everybody, so
Yeah, he played with Luther Vandross. He played with Steely Dan, with Paul Simon, Art Garfunkel. He played with
blood, sweat, and tears.
exactly as their guitar player
And
on I think 2 albums.
I think he
Yeah,
was 13 years as a backup band or in the backup band of Saturday Night Live show.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. So he's
Yeah,
a true legend and a wonderful person. We met him on several fairs in
yeah,
mostly in Gothenburg. Yeah,
just a good
Guy is
friend.
fantastic. Yeah, great guy. So this is on Open Strings Festival in Germany, where
Mm.
you had a booth, and with our new friend for the moment when we met there, it's Gabriele Possenti from Italy.
Ah,
Amazing finger picker, such a nice guy.
yeah,
Yeah, but now here comes a picture. Okay, this is the wounds of a warrior during my, I think it was Christmas retreat, and he was picking so hard that he got these bruises on his fingers when he was picking. Amazing.
yeah.
It's got nothing to do with the guitar, boys.
I
You don't
hope
get
not.
those when you play Sandén guitars. Don't get me wrong.
It's a fake
No.
picture.
Yeah, of course. And now I'm ashamed that I don't remember the name of this musician. He's a very
Ah,
well-known fingerpicker from Italy. Enzo
yeah, I can't
or some,
remember it either.
yeah. I know
Can't
we
remember.
played Deep River Blues and jammed
Yeah,
for like 20 minutes. It was just fantastic. Yeah. These are the two of you.
yeah, same guy.
And then, yeah, this is for 2005.
Oh, yeah, that's when
Exactly.
I was in the workshop outside Gothenburg.
Exactly.
I
Ness
can't remember the
Castle.
guy.
Oh, yeah.
Who's that?
He's in the middle. I'll tell you about him. He's a nice guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the one guy in the blue t-shirt, no idea.
Yeah. The blue t-shirt,
Who
that's
is it?
Pera Joe.
Ah,
Yeah.
he
My
doesn't
harmonica player from Belgrade.
look so different on that pictures.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I do too.
Yeah. We all do a bit. So this is one of the shops where we held our workshops, which is the coziest thing for the workshops because it's totally different if you sit on a stage and do it for a crowd of people that you don't even see their faces maybe. But this is like they're sitting right in front of you and watching every move you make. So here's a R14 again.
Yeah.
In the hands of a
has-
really big guy.
It has grown a little bit now, the guitar.
Yeah, we'll be going
so-
through your models in a second on your website. So I think we've gone through all the pictures, and this is sadly a picture with a Woody man who just left us, I think a week ago or something. Unfortunately, yeah. And he was a good friend and a colleague, and I met him on several occasions. A very nice guy, a fantastic player. Yeah. That's it. So we're done with those pictures. So let's go very briefly to your website where people can visit and see. Let's say this is sandénguitars.com. Just visit that, folks, and you will find the Root series, the artists who are playing Michael's guitars, the custom series, things that can or cannot be ordered. Tell us about your new policy now, Michael.
Yeah, well, I'm getting so old now that I take the privilege of choosing of what I would like to build. So this year, I will say, most of the time, I will build whatever I like, and then I put it out on my in-stock side for up for sale. So so if you want a Sandén guitar this year, then check out my in-stock side.
Exactly.
At the moment, there is only Roots guitar, and today I sold the R29 there, so that one is sold.
Oh, that's one. So okay,
that one is sold. Sold it
okay,
today.
So. Okay. You
So
don't have the time to update everything.
No, I just sold it. So, but it's that's what I mostly do now. It's I'm taking a little bit more easy this year, he said, and then he's gonna have 3 classes of guitar building, but in between them, I take it much more easy than I have done the last years. So instead of building 4 or 5 guitar at a time, I'm building only 2 at a time now. So.
All right. Okay. Now I haven't really checked the chat so much, but I have this one question that I want to ask you, and I'll show this picture here. Here's me in between my crack. It's on this very main guitar that I have, that I kind of neglected in taking care of because the humidity here in this room is not so high. So I guess it went under 15% or 10% for quite a long time, and then in the end it cracked. So you glued it together and everything is fine, but just tell us, how can we avoid things like this?
Don't touch your guitar and have it in the case. That's no, but it's there is not one company in the world that will have the dry cracks on their warranty. So if that happens, you won't get any replacement or anything.
No.
But it's quite easy to deal with, because the guitars that I build, and a lot of guitars on the market today, are solid wood tops, and they react to humidity. So the best suggestion I can tell you is get a humidifier or a meter that you can check the humidity in the room where you have the guitar. If it's under 35%, then you put in a humidifier in the sound hole. There is a lot of them on the market. And if it's over 35, you take it out. You shall not let it sit in the guitar when the humidity rise. So under 35, put in the humidifier, and over 35, take it out.
All
That's my
right.
best suggestion. And the
Okay, here's a
guitar,
question. Oh, sorry.
yeah, well, Arne is asking if I talked about the torrefied wood, and I haven't.
So, do it.
So if that's a well, it's an old invention that I think that the Finnish people first came out with. It was a company called Landeola who doesn't exist anymore. They started to call it thermowood, and they used it for deckings and stuff like that. And then Landeola picked it up and used for birch wood, which is pretty soft. But with this torrefication, it kind of stiffens the wood. So and then people forgot about it. Then the Americans found out about it, like I think 10 years ago or something.
Yeah.
And now they called it torrefied or thermo-treated wood. The process is like you take a regular spruce top, and then you put them in a kiln and take them down to 0%. So there's no moist in the wood. And then they take it out from that kiln, put it in another one, and take it up to 220 degrees. And then they take the oxygen out of the kiln. So it's quite a complicated compress. So what happened is that, in a spruce, there is a lot of cells. And in those cells, there is water, which when you play a guitar, the top vibrates. So it dries out the wood on a very, very long time. And it kind of crystallizes the water in these cells. And what they do with the torrefication is that they speed up that process. So you get a guitar that sounds like it's like 5 to 10 years old from the start. You don't have to play it. It sounds good from the start.
Yeah, that's great.
So I've made quite a lot of them the last few years. They sound good.
Definitely. All your guitars sound good, man. It's just...
I try.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to keep you too much longer. I have one question. What's the difference between a guitar maker, luthier, and guitar builder? Is it just different expressions for the same thing, or what is it?
Same shit.
All right. Okay, good. And you don't care how you're called, right?
No, as long as people buy my guitars, they can call me anything they want.
Yeah, because I remember on one of the fairs, there was a person who is also making guitars, and he didn't want people to call him, "Are you building guitars?" "No, I'm a luthier." Okay,
Yeah.
we don't care.
No.
Great. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming, Michael. Let me just grab this little R14 to show them. Show it.
And remember, I don't make that model anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
It's called
You're not.
R21.
All right. So let's see. So this is it's a small guitar, small bodied, and this one has, I mean, compared to my body, right? It shows that it's smaller. But what's the deal with the shorter scale length guitars? Does the 21, the new model now, also has shorter scale like this one?
It has a short scale, but it's 630 millimeters. That one you have, I think, is 580.
Yes,
So
580.
so it's when I started out, I just wanted to make a small, convenient guitar. And obviously it worked out because I think I've sold over 100 of them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But then I just, that's why it's called R14. I started 2014 with those models.
Yeah.
And then last year, I thought, I had to let it grow up. So now it's what's called a zero shape, um, and has 630 string length. So it's a little bit more mature now.
All right.
Otherwise, it's the same wood.
All right.
Everything is the same.
Great. So, Kosha, my friend from Germany, he bought an electric humidifier for the room. And I have, I think, the same kind of humidifier for my room, but now it's 43 degrees inside here because I haven't opened, the windows or the doors. It's really, and it's just on maintaining the humidity. So it's a great, if you have several guitars that you really don't want to keep in the case, but you want to have them outside and to be able to play them all the time, then you need to buy the real humidifier for the whole room, not just one single that you put in the guitar, because then you need to have it in the case, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Michael, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
It's always a
Thank you
pleasure to
for
talk
having
to
me.
you. Absolutely. And so we're celebrating 30 years of our friendship from last year. That was in 2021. 2020, you're celebrating 40 years as a guitar maker. And I wish you all the best. Make guitars you love, and people who play them, they really love them. There's no doubt about
Thank you.
that.
Thank you, Mike.
All right.
See you.
I'll see you soon. Bye. Yeah, those guitars are fantastic. Great, guys. So, what we're going to do now, we got the lick of the week that's left, and then we have Artist in Focus, Blind Boy Fuller. Obviously, I'll never keep this under 1 hour. I can do it somehow. Maybe I'll put a clock and start with bringing in the guests earlier in the show. But let's do the lick of the week. It's a great one. Well, it did say what it was on the thumbnail for this show. And there's one I'd like to demonstrate one thing for you, which is going to be the same lick played with a slide made out of metal and then with the glass slide. And I told you before in one of the previous streams that when I use the glass slide on this kind of guitar, the metal body guitar, it's usually that it's wonderful to play solo notes like melodies. Metal is also great for that, of course, but it's a little bit smoother with the glass slide. But the metal gives you very powerful chord shape. So if I go to the, let's say, 5th fret here, right, so it's the chord shapes are just amazing there. If I take the glass slide and do the same thing, see, the sound is brighter. It's kind of, as there's less friction between the glass and the metal than it's between metal and metal. So there are songs where you would choose to play with glass slide and some others with the metal. So let's do the lick of the week, which is Intro to Rambling on My Mind by Robert Johnson. And I'm not claiming that I played exactly how Robert Johnson did it, but it's a great exercise for somebody who wants to learn how to jump, let's say, from a lick played on a 12th fret up there and then just go down to the chord. So let's see if I can put all this into the frame so you guys can see this. All right. So I believe Ramble on My Mind goes like this. Let's do the same thing with the metal slide. I think I got carried away and I moved my hands from the frame here. So let's do it again. And these last two notes that Robert Johnson played were so significant for him, and that's where he influenced me so much as a player, because he treated the guitar as an orchestra. And many other players did that. You listen to Blind Blake, Blind Boy Fuller, you listen to Big Bill Brunsey, Lonnie Johnson, and many of them who played fingerstyle in those crazy 30s, they all played the strings selectively. And that's also one of the things I'll show you when I'm going to be talking about Blind Boy Fuller and his style of playing. But the thing with Robert Johnson's intro to this song is like he chooses to play just the notes that are on the 12th fret on the second and the first string. So it's a, and then, so it goes back to the shuffle pattern that he's going to be playing throughout the whole song. So he just chooses this first, and then goes back, and then. That's absolutely amazing. Nobody did that before him, I believe so. So he plays the same notes. He doubles it because on the 5th fret in the open D, the 5th and the 4th string are the same. And on the 7th fret, the A note, he could have played like this. I got rhythm. But no, he wanted to make it ring. So, and that's absolutely amazing when it comes to this intro lick to Rhyming on My Mind. So, and my opinion is that metal slide sounds a bit better and punchier in just this particular lick. That's it. So, let's go back to the schedule, and this is what's coming up. I'm a stranger here, just drove to your town. Hello, Blind Boy Fuller. I'm a stranger here, just drove to your town. So Blind Boy Fuller was one of the most significant guitar players and singers of the 30s when it comes to both blues and ragtimey patterns that I've learned so much from. And as you can see here, he plays the capo. And this is early or mid 30s, where he played in, sometimes in open tunings, as I played Stranger's Blues in the beginning. But he played mostly in standard tuning, and his favorite grip chord shape was C. So he recorded many tracks solo with a washboard player quite often, and then he played with the Sonatary harmonica player and some other people. Yeah, some of these guys. And there's this CD, Blues Collection, Blind Boy Fuller Sonatary. That's fantastic. And Sonatary is a harmonica player who goes way back in the late 20s, 30s. He played with most significant blues guitar players of that time. He played with Woody Guthrie together with Brownie McGhee. So that's an amazing backup for Blind Boy Fuller. So let me show you this. How and why would I want to show what Blind Boy Fuller did, and how did that affect my slide playing, influence my slide playing? his syncopation, his way to play melodies, and to leave some strings open and ringing while he was picking some others, and the way he treated the rhythm, that gave me a lot of great grooves to learn from. So he used to play a Picolo Rag, which is a very standard chord progression, which goes from, let's say, C to A7, C, A7, then D7, G, C. Twice, D7, G, and then he goes C, he goes C7, you go F, and then you either play this diminished chord, or he plays the A flat, and then he goes back A7, D, G, C. So here comes a very known pattern by Blind Boy Fuller. He did it like this. Gotta stop doing what you do to me, baby. Don't you gonna run me wild? And so on. So that's the pattern he used to play, and he has this. Let's say one fantastic lick that I learned from him was this, which is just grabbing the D7 shape here. Most of the people recognize the C7, right? But if you play it on the 5th fret as a D7 and you have an open first string, that note doesn't belong to D. It's a 9th of a D, but it's wonderful as a kind of go over note when you go, well, maybe you'll continue to G. Right? So let's just demonstrate this a bit faster so maybe you can get this kind of impression of how it sounded in the 30s. So I've learned a lot of these patterns here, and I developed this Blind Boy Fuller's first original version into, let's say, a melody that I like to play. It would be like a... So I just replaced the C, C7, F, and this one with a C, C7, F, diminished, and then just rolling the C chord to the A7, and then you can play, and then. So his syncopation, his manner of letting the strings ring while he's playing maybe some licks in between, that was of big influence. So just to demonstrate you how, let's say, if you want to play this song differently and you don't want to imitate Blind Boy Fuller, then let's do it in open D. Now this key is a little bit high from my pitch, but the basic thing is this: we're in open D, so the chords that we need to play are D, gotta stop doing what you do to me, babe, has to go to B or B7, And the grip for that is here, second fret of the 5th string, 1st fret, 4th string, and then we pick these 4 strings. And then we have the E, which is on the 2nd fret. But I choose to play selectively. Now we're back to Robert Johnson and Blind Boy Fuller and many other people who kind of, since they were solo musicians, you cannot play the full chords all the time. You'd be boring after 1 minute. So you need to play selectively and use your chord shapes smartly. So what I would play instead of E chord like this, I would just play the 6th, the 3rd string, and the 1st string open, but these two are on the 2nd fret. So, and then A, which is, and then back to D. So the chord shape would be. Back to A. Gotta stop and do what you do to me, baby. I mean just what I said. When I talk about loving and the thought of she, you done made me love you, baby, now I wanna quit. Gotta stop and do what you do to me, baby. Don't you go and run me while I'm me. Don't you go and run me while I'm want to play this in open D instead of standard tuning, this is where I would start practicing, because there are some great shapes. If you want to play this, like let's say this. Just this chord shape, like if you play E, A, and D, you can grab it with 2 notes up here. This note on the 11th fret of the 5th string, and you grab with a slide on the 12th fret, and then play open 5th string, which is basically the A chord. So, and you go back to D. So you play. Gotta stop doing what you do to me, babe. So the B chord is 1, 2, 3, 4 frets below the 12th fret. So I usually remember all these things visually, and there is a marker here on the 9th fret. So okay, I know I'll go down to that fret. This is a shape to go to, let's say, D7. And then you can add a note on the 4th fret on the 3rd string. That would be. And then you go to 5th fret. So we're playing kind of diminished chords, but only using 3 strings. 6th, 3rd, and the 1st. And the shapes are these. Gotta stop doing what you do to me, baby. Don't you go run me wild. Talk about love and the shoulder she. You done made me love, baby, now I wanna quit. Gotta stop doing what you do to me, baby. Don't you go run me while I'm in. Don't you go run me. Let's say that would be a slide melody if somebody else would play the accompaniment, right, to me. So, right, well, that was the Artist in Focus with the Picolo Rag, kind of converted to open D, if you feel like playing it that way. And I think I'll need to finish off because we're 17 minutes after the hour. I'll try. I'll do my best next week to keep it under 1 hour, because I respect your time. It's fantastic you're here, and many of you are still here. I really appreciate that. That's great. So don't forget to like this video, please, because that's what's giving us more traffic. If the YouTube algorithms see that people like it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I do hope that you've chosen the highest resolution, because in YouTube, under this little wheel icon down to the right, you can choose the highest resolution for the stream, because I'm sending in full HD. I hope you had a good image and that audio and video sync are okay. If not, please let me know in the chat and I'll try to improve it for the next time. Good. So let me see in the chat. Yeah, thank you, Kosho. Thank you for coming. It was fantastic. Michael is such a great guy, an amazing guitar maker, definitely. And just as a curse, I didn't play his guitar so much today, but the focus was on open D and some other stuff with slide. And next week we'll continue playing in open D. It's going to be great. And maybe the week after I'll go to do some stuff in open G. And then we'll be combining these two, because there are ways that you play in D as a key, but you're in open G. So you don't always have to play in the basic key of the open tuning, meaning that if you're in D open, then you have to play songs which are in the key of D. No, you can play them in A, so to say, sometimes. Yeah, and I'll have some good examples of that as well. So thank you so much for coming, and I hope to see you next time. Let's go to the outro, and I think it's going to be a blast to see you guys next week. Thanks so much for coming, and hit me on Twitter. It's just at Homesick Mac. Send me a direct message. It works better than mail. But if you want to email me as well, it's homesickmac@gmail.com. Right. All right. Oh, hello, Milovan. Nice to see you. I hope you caught something before as well. Otherwise, let's watch the replay together, maybe. All right. It's my friend from the States. Good. Thank you, Jonas. Always a pleasure to have you here. Thank you, everybody else. And I'll see you next Monday. Stay safe, stay well, and all the best.
It was in spring, one sunny day, my sweetheart left me, Lord, she went away. Now she's gone, and I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top of the world. If you call me up, down and out by soul, said, come back, Daddy, Lord, I need you so. Now she's gone, and I don't worry, 'cause I'm sitting on top of the world. peaches, don't you shake my tree. Get out of my orchard, let my peaches be. Now she's gone, I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top of the world. Spring, one sunny day, my sweetheart left me, now she went away. Now she's gone, and I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top of the world. Now she's gone, and I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top